Good evening, parents and kids. Good evening. This is Teacher Mew, and we are starting our award ceremony soon. So, everybody, are you ready? Please tell me in the chat box. Yeah, no matter you are in P1 or P2, or maybe you can just tell me in the comment box and let me know you are in P1 or P2. Yes, good evening, everyone. We are starting our award ceremony soon, and this award ceremony is for our 2024 Singapore Think Academy Calculation Contest. So, welcome to our award ceremony, and you can just tell me you are in P1 or P2 in the comment box. All right. So thank you for joining our award ceremony today. And today we are having an award ceremony. And now let's get started. All right. Thank you. So before it just gets started. So how do you feel about this competition? Are you excited? Or are you just feeling sad that it's okay? Or how do you feel about that? Yeah, no matter it's getting the gold or silver or bronze or maybe honorable mention or participation, no matter what happens, all right, the contest is already here and we are coming to our award ceremony today. All right, so let's first thing first, let's just take a look at what we are having today. So today our ceremony will basically have 4 parts. The first part is on the review on the whole STACC, the whole contents, and then we will have a general performance analysis on a general performance of all candidates for P1 and P2. Also, Miu will just provide some some suggestions for future learning, and also there will be the award presentation. So are you ready to our award ceremony now? Are you ready? Now here we go. So let's just do some review on the STACC first. So first thing first is about the our teacher Jimson. So teacher Jimson actually posts a lot of short videos in red. So in red, there are many videos, the short videos talking about how to do calculation faster, what are the tips and tricks in doing calculation, and also how can we find out the breakthroughs in doing calculations. So we can still follow teacher Jimson for more methods in doing calculation in reds. Alright, after that, also we have YouTube webinars. These YouTube webinars include the 3 sections of calculation booster section for P1 and P2. Also for the best way to learn calculation by teacher Jimson. Yeah, so for the conducting webinars, we introduce many different methods and also different kinds of questions and topics in calculation, not just in our contest, but also some very common questions in GEP, competition, even in PSLE. After the YouTube webinars, so finally we are coming to our test and also the report. So first thing first, we have sample paper. We have sample paper for both P1 and P2 students to get them familiar with the question and the topics we are going to have. And also on the test day, we finally come to the Think Academy Calculation Contest. On the day, are you nervous? Do you still remember how do you feel that day? Right, yeah, it's quite nervous because for some of the question from some of the students just feedback to me that say the question is not very challenging, but it still need a very good time management, right? And also some question is quite challenging, right? And after the test, you would get your report, which you can just find out in our apps, right? So finally today we come to our award ceremony, and that's when we would just come back to see why we are doing calculation contest today. So first thing first is about our MOE syllabus. So in MOE syllabus from P1 all the way to P6, as you can see, the green colored box is about the calculation module. So you will see that for calculation, actually we will have more than 50% in MOE syllabus for the whole primary school age. And also in P1 and P2 for the MOE syllabus, calculation will contain up to more than 60% in P1 and P2. So for primary 1 and primary 2 student, calculation is one of the very important module in doing math. So that's why we come to calculation. Apart from MOE syllabus, we can also take a look at PSLE. In PSLE, you might find out that the biggest occupation will just go to the numbers and algebra. So that needs a very strong base and very strong foundation in doing calculation. That's why we choose calculation and the calculation contest for P1 and P2 student. Moreover, it's about the SMKC, the competition. Not just for SMKC, the Singapore Math Kangaroo Contest, also for SESMO contest. You will find out that number senses, which require a very strong ability of calculation, also contain a very, very big portion in doing this contest. That's why we are doing Singapore Think Academy calculation contest starting from this year. And starting from this year, we are going to do this calculation contest year by year. So for next year, we can still join and get a gold medal. Right. So after that, after the review on the calculation, let's just have on the general performance analysis. For the general performance analysis, first thing first, it's about the whole participants. This time we have the contest majorly to the grade 1 and grade 2 students, and the whole contest we have the 241 participants. For P1, we have 99 participants, and for P2, we have overall 142 participants. Yeah, that's quite a big one, right? Big number. And for the numbers and the question, we have this for this contest. For P1 students, altogether, they need to finish 80 questions within 40 minutes, and the total mark would be 100 points, and the average for the whole P1 grade would be 63 points. And also the highest point that we have is for P1, that is 94. And for P2 student, they are required to finish 78 questions within 40 minutes. Total mark is still 100, and the average is 59.3. So the highest point for P2 student, that is 95. You will see that from P1 and from P2, the average will have a slightly different. That means actually they still get between P1 and P2 students. Yeah, as they grow up, the calculation ability just grows stronger and stronger. But then when we find out that actually the average won't just increase, but it's just going down. Why? Okay, let's just continue on our analysis. So for different sections, altogether, we have 3 sections here. So for section A, the overall accuracy would just go to like 87%, which is quite okay. And for section B, which mainly focus on this calculation with strategy, that would go to the accuracy of 57%, 59%, which is also because of the difficulty of the question. And for section C, this question, right, this part, we have like for P1 student, only 24% accuracy and also only 12% accuracy for P2 student. And that is the mainly challenging part for the whole contest. Let's just take a look at each of the module. What is it about? So for the primary one, okay, let me just go away, all right? So for primary one students, as you can see here, right, from question 1 to question 10 is the basic within 20. Yeah, the basic calculation within 20s include the addition, subtraction, and the average is just like 9.4, and the overall accuracy is just 94%. So for this part, actually, student can just enhance, we say, to increase their accuracy by doing the basic calculation. And also for question 11 to question 22 all the way to question 34 is also about the basic calculation within 100. Okay, that is quite a basic one for P1 students. So when we go to question 35 to question 44, it's about the advanced calculation, including the inversion calculation. And also after that, we would have the advanced mixed operation for question 45 to question 50. Also, we have more questions on the calculation with strategy from question 51 to question 70, and also some problem-solving operations in 71 to question 80. As you can see, the accuracy will start from a very great number, 94%, all the way go to the 24%. It is because actually you can find out that for P1 students, the basic calculation is still quite okay. We have like 94% all the way to 87%. That is quite acceptable for P1 student. And then for the advanced one, and when we go to like more challenging topic in the mixed operation, and also the problem solving operation, that they need to get exposure to those topics, then they will find out the breakthrough to do. So if they just try all his best, like do the calculation simply, it's very difficult to get the correct answer within the time limits. So this is about the module for P1 student. Let's go to P2. For P2, as you can see, the different module. Okay, you can come back for this part. So for this part, you will find out that for P2 student, there will be more difference to go. So we will have the basic calculation have two different parts, because for P2 student, they already have learned how to do multiplication and division. So basic calculation 1 is only focused on the addition and subtraction. And as you might find out that for the first 20 questions about addition and subtraction, the accuracy is quite high. That is like 95%. That means for P2 student, actually the addition and subtraction is quite easy for them to do now. And for the basic calculation, that is part 2, is mainly focused on the multiplication, division, and also the inversion operation. So for these 15 questions altogether, the accuracy just go to 71. Yeah, then we will find out that kids will find struggle in doing multiplication and division. So that's what we are going to focus on in P2. And also for mixed operation, actually for the mixed operation is more on the orders of operation, do the multiplication and division first, and then plus and minus. But only about this rule that the accuracy is so low. It's only like 53%. So that is not quite acceptable for doing a very basic calculation with only 50% accuracy. And then we go to the advanced calculation. The advanced calculation includes doing the calculation within 1000. The number is quite big, so they need to do the calculation step by step accurately to go to the final answer. Yeah, so for this part, the accuracy only reach 36%. That means kids still need daily practice for the calculation. And also for advanced calculation, we also include the multiplication and division within like 2 digits and even 3 digits. So kids also need to practice their multiplication and division. For the calculation with strategies, comparing to P1, P2 student would need more techniques and more get faster to do the calculation with strategy. Later, I will just provide some suggestions on that. Also, for the worst part is about the problem solving calculation, because calculation itself is not just a simply want to do to solve this kind of question. They need to find out the breakthrough to find out the answer. So this part, they just reach a very low accuracy, and the average point for this part is only 3.7. That's quite slow. So after the analysis of the general performance, let's just go to the suggestions for future learning. So after this contest, actually, what can we do to help our kids to enhance our ability of learning? So first thing first is about the basic calculation. So about basic calculation, one thing first is about to understand the problem and the concept very accurately. For example, it's like actually what is multiplication? Multiplication is the groups of something, right? So when they understand what exactly it is, they would be easily to understand how to do the calculation. And also like division, we can have equal grouping and equal sharing. That these two concepts, they need to understand quite well to know how to do the multiplication and division. And also for the second part is about to use the correct order of operation, just like I mentioned before, about the mixed operation. What to do first? Brackets, and then multiplication and division. Then we go to addition and subtractions. And don't forget, kids need to cultivate their habits of checking their words. That is also very important, to check their words. So with the very basic calculation improved, we can go to more strategy to help. That is about the calculation with strategies. So for calculation with strategies, for addition and subtraction, what we have already learned in our long-term course is about like making tens. Yeah, good friends pairs to make tens would help us easier to do the calculation and faster to do addition. And also the rounding and adjusting, that is also one very important way to do questions with many different steps. And also we have grouping method and also the complement methods. These are the methods we already had for the previous semesters. And for multiplication and division, first thing first, and the very important thing is to get very familiar to times tables within 12 by 12. And also 0 and 1 as a very special number in multiplication and division, kids need to just understand quite well why and how to do. And also, we do the multiplication or division by 10, by 100, by 1000. It has tricks. It has tips and tricks for doing this calculation faster. And also, the remainder would be one of the very difficult questions for kids to do in P1 and P2. After that, one more thing is about the inverse operation. Just like when we do plus, when we do reversely, we are doing minus. We do multiplication, and we do reversely, is doing division. So these are the calculation with strategies. After that, one more thing is about the practice. When they know what it is, how to do, and also with strategy, they will need a very appropriate material to do the daily practice. So that's why for our long-term course students, we will provide a daily practice booklet. It will just look like this. Right? This is for June. So starting from day 1, kids will have questions to do day by day. So each day they need to finish all the questions, and to find out that if they just got all correct, they will have how many stars here. All right. And if they just miss some of things, so they can just mark down the question they do wrong, and also to write down the correct solution. By day practice, they can just quickly enhance their calculation ability. For this day-by-day question, each day only 5 to 10 minutes required. So it's a very simple idea to help them to enhance their calculation. Yeah, and this booklet we will just provide freely to our long-term course students. After that, also is about the lowest, or we say the worst module that we have coming from this calculation contest is about the problem solving calculation. From this contest, we have the problem solving calculations include shapes in equation, the topic, also the division involving remainders and remainder problem, working backwards, vertical number puzzles, horizontal number puzzles, and number matrix. So for these kinds of topics, they are very common test topics, no matter in competitions or GEPs, even in PSLE. So actually, when they get enough exposure to these topics, they will easily find out that what is the breakthrough and how to deal with it step by step. That's one of the very important things. But luckily, for all these 6 topics, we have already learned in our previous semester for no matter P1 or P2. Let's take a look at the syllabus that we are going to have in the next semester. So for P1 long-term course syllabus, you might find out that yes, we will talking about more modules on calculations, include the multiplication and also multiplication 2. Also, like we have the division and division starting from the new semester 2, coming from June. And also, for the second half, we also have like the calculation, like filling in numbers. Also is one of the very common topics in GEP and competition. Also shapes the equation. And you might find out that for P1 student, the very important thing is to build the basic concept and the very first access to the concept and also this kind of the topics and questions. So the exposure starts from P1. And for P2, it will be slightly different. Once they know about tips and tricks in addition and subtraction, we will go more advanced into like 2. This means the intermediate questions and the tips and tricks in addition and subtraction. Also, they will got more exposures to the real world problems to use the calculation method they have learned and to do the practical questions. Just like the chicken rabbit problem, the rate, the time, the calendar, and the money question. But actually, right, when you see this question, then you might ask, Miu, this is actually the worst problems. How comes it can be related to the calculation ability? Actually, when we look at the calendar problems, right, just take it an example. The calendar problems, and when we go to the core to this kind of the topics, actually is about the division and remainder problems. Right, for the calendar, it's just like 7 in a loop, 7 in a loop, 7 in a loop. So it's just like a remainder problem. So the core is still calculation, and also to use the calculation method to solve some challenging topics. For the second half of the P2, that we still have like different like fractions. That is one very big topic in GP. And also we have working backwards, shifting to equality. And this kind of question also require kids have a very strong ability of doing calculations. So that's how we would just invite them to do. And for the suggestions for the future learning, if you are interested in doing the long-term course or would understand more about our long-term course, please feel free to scan our QR code to join the to go to our trial lesson. Yeah, so our trial lesson here can scan, and it's completely free for an online course. So you can just scan here to have a go for our long-term course to see how we would teach the remainder problem. Starting from understand the concept of division and all the way to go to remainder and also go to the remainder problems to get more exposure to the challenging question. Finally, after that, we are coming to the one very exciting part. It's about the award presentation. So about the award presentation, I would like to just say congratulations to most of the kids that they were just doing a very, very good job in doing this part. Yeah, because we have a very big name list, so I would just hide me away, all right? So let's go to the bronze first. So for primary 1 student, for bronze award, we have Luke, Mu Chuan, Zan, Leo, Joshua, Yu Wen, Shirley, Yu An, Shen Chen, Yu Ren, Lando, Alexi, Shu Yan, Charlotte, Gabriel, Leo, Wen Wei, and Chen Yang, Baowen, and Yu Heng. Congratulations! And also, bronze for primary 2, we have Alex, Lucas, Andrew, Luna, Rui Hang, Bennett, Jordan, Shuangling, Austin, Yan Kai, Lucas, Zihan, Laura, Joe, Austin, Shao Chen, Qin Shu, Eden, Shu Wei, Colin, and also Leo, Jason, Tongming, Kai Chi, and Kaden, Kimi, Sky, Elisabella, Lucas, Elisa, Yu Heng, Zhongyi, Abby, Jialing, Junxuan, Giselle, Samuel, and Shannon. Congratulations! Then we go to silver. So for the silver award that we for primary 1, we have Kyler, Hao Feng, Yu Tong, Hua Xi, Dai Qian, Yi Xiu, Yu En, Anson, Shark, and Yi Ran, and Zachary. Congratulations! And also for primary 2, we have Bo Yang, Cindy, Yi Chen, Xi Bai, Jia Lu, Theodore, Xavier, Zidan, Bo Han, Hao Zhen, and Dylan, Bo Yue, Chen Feng, Harry, Yiling, Ray, Davin, and Kaylee. Congratulations! And for the silver medal, for the silver award, that you can get your prize as the Think Academy Editions school bag that you can collect in our Dacheng Center. Or if you are a long-term course student, your long-term course teacher will just bring your prize to the first lesson of the semester 2. Congratulations. And then also, finally, come to the gold. Come to the gold award. That for primary 1, we have Ke Xin, Xin He, Yi Chen, Xuan Rui, Yi Jing, and Evan. Well done! Actually, this is quite challenging because like for primary 1 students, they just come to a primary school and they need to go to like a 40 minutes contest with 80 questions. That is not easy for them to do. So really congratulations to those who can just finish quite well and also reach a very high accuracy. Congratulations. And for P2, we have 易如、易凡、郑恒、嘉维、Ethan, Jason, 易欣, Ray, and 华西. Congratulations! And again, for the gold medal, that you can just collect your prize in our Dacheng Center, or if you are a long-term course students, your teacher, your long-term course teacher, will just bring the prize to you at the first lesson of semester 2. Okay, if you are an online course students, you can also go to the Dacheng Center to collect your prize. Congratulations! After the presentations to our gold and silver and bronze candidates, there are also some names that also deserve a big applause. Though they didn't get a very high price here, but they are still worth to get the very honorable mention. Because for this contest, it is also not an easy one. They should be encouraged to do more calculation and come to the contest and to try practice more. Alright, so they include for primary 1, we have the honorable mention here as the name list that Miu is not going to read all the names here, but they also deserve honorable mentions for good job for trying for this time. Good job here. And then also for the primary 2, I also have a very big name list. Since for primary 2 student, we have more participants that they just join the contest and try their all best to do. So I hope for the next year, they can just go get the medal. Yeah, so we have the honorable mentions here for primary 2 students, and this is list 1. And also we have list 2. So thank you and good job. For bronze, we would provide a certificate. So please try all your best to get the silver and the gold and even the perfect score for the next year. So after the award ceremony, once again, I would just like to invite you to come to our trial lesson, because from our trial lesson, you will know more about how to do the math question and even some topics easier, and how to just do it an online class by step here. So if you are interested in our long-term course, please just take a screenshot and scan the QR code to sign up for the free trial lesson. Right, so finally here, so thank you so much for joining me today. So today we will just have an analysis of the general performance of the whole contest, and also we just provide some suggestions on how to do this math faster and how can help our kids to do better in doing calculation. I hope after today and also after this contest, kids would have a good sense of achievements of doing this contest, and also know how to improve more in the future learning. So also, I would like to say thank you and see you next year for our 2025 STACC. So that's all, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for having you today in our award ceremony, and see you guys next year.